we are in the presence of a celebrity right now. This is
We are.
She did the Super Bowl commercial with Bill Murray and Jeep.
That's it right there.
This is it. This is the one that started it all.
You planned that.
No, I didn't, but yeah, that's cool.
Could we be in line for something funny to come out of the mouth?
Just might happen. What a little key.
She's the best.
Everyone deserves to feel their best. Everyone deserves to move their best and not have pain.
I'm a little upset that Ben got like 2 inches taller because he's already tall, dark, and handsome enough.
Culture is something we think about like all the time at Strookies. You know, we're all coming from different cultures.
Our comments have exploded
Through the roof.
So there you go.
Good afternoon, Lancaster. Welcome to Lancaster Connects. I'm your host for today. My name is Ben McClure, and I'm broadcasting live Monday at 2 o'clock, every Monday at 2 o'clock, right here from Gardner's Mattress & More. This is the business that I co-own with my partner in crime, Jeff Giannakovo, who is sadly ill today. So he's resting, and hope he's feeling better. His Eagles won. We always talk about football. His Eagles won on Saturday, so that was a high. The illness is a low. Hope he's feeling better and back at it soon. Man, I mean, when we mentioned football, we're like, it's September 23rd. It's now fall. It's officially fall. The weather's starting to break. It's actually raining today for the first time in like, I don't know, feels like months. I think it's a couple weeks at least, but maybe I'll need to mow the lawn one last time, which I haven't done in the last few weeks. But leaves are starting to change. You see behind us, we've got a new decor here in our showroom, a fall, autumn sort of decor. Pumpkins, it's almost pumpkin spice season. I'm sitting here drinking my coffee from Whiff Roasters. Whiff was featured there in the intro video, the last video. That was a fun episode. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. It was my birthday last week. But I'm drinking some sort of pumpkins, or no, this is not pumpkin spice, not yet. This is some sort of pecan, something or other flavor from Whiff Roasters. Pecan, surprise, sunrise, something, country pecan. I don't know. It's really, really good. They have a ton of flavors, and I think we're now shifting from summer flavors into fall flavors. So this pecan coffee is really, really good. There they are, Whiff Roasters. They're up in Lidditz. They have a roastery and soon to be a cafe on site. Beautiful renovation they're doing there. You can buy all their coffee there, and soon they'll have a cafe there. Look, seasonal pumpkin pecan. There it is. I don't think I'm drinking pumpkin pecan. It's pecan something or other, but I don't think it's pumpkin pecan. Anyway, it's really, really good. And if you're a Gardner's customer, a customer of Gardner's Mattress & More, you buy a mattress from us, you actually walk out of the store with coffee. I mean, what better way to, wake up every morning than, on a Gardner's mattress and with some coffee, right? So that's that. Just wanted to give a shout out to them. Whiff Roasters, we kind of have a little partnership with them, giving our customers coffee. We like promoting them, and we like drinking their coffee. Yes, it was my birthday on Friday. That was fun. Just a shout out to Pilgrim's Oak Golf Course down in Peach Bottom, PA. I played there on my birthday with a group of friends, and it's a beautiful, beautiful golf course. Dare I say, maybe the nicest public golf course in Lancaster County. Really, really fun to play. Challenging course. It was beautiful weather. There they are. I had never been there before. It's a little distance. It's almost down in Maryland. It's almost on the Maryland line, but it is as beautiful as the pictures there show. It was a little dry because of it hadn't rained in a while, but I think every golf course is every blade of grass everywhere in the county is a little dry, I think. But beautiful golf course. I had fun. Went right from there to my daughter's volleyball tournament that was going on at Penn Manor High School. Out of 12 teams, they came in first, which means they won. Awesome time. But that's pretty much how I spent my birthday. Playing golf, watching volleyball. Oh, and I got my annual physical in the morning. So yay. Yay me. Oh, here we go. All right. So that's enough about that. We've got a great guest today. I'm excited to bring him on. Might as well bring him on right now. We've got Mike or Mike.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna mess up the name because I said it wrong in the pre-show. Vergara.
Yeah, we got it. Hello. What's
Yes.
going on, Ben?
How are you, Mike?
I'm doing good. Thank you. I'm more interested in that pumpkin pecan coffee that you just did.
Come into Gardeners, buy a mattress, and you can walk out with a sample pack. Hey,
Is there any way I could buy the coffee and walk out with a mattress?
maybe. I don't know. I don't think I can arrange that. I don't know. So, well, thank you for being on, Mike. You represent Lighthouse Vocational Services.
Yes.
So we're going to learn all about that today. You've been with Lighthouse for a couple years now, I think.
About almost a year.
About a year. Okay.
Yeah, about a year now. I came on technically in the beginning of September of 23. Really started, putting the wheels to the ground in October of 23.
Gotcha. So let's learn about Lighthouse, because I'm not very familiar with Lighthouse Vocational Services. So how did it get started? What's your mission, purpose, that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lighthouse Vocational Service, we are a facility that serves adults with intellectual and physical disabilities located in New Holland, Pennsylvania. And basically, our goal is to provide hope and opportunity to every individual out there with intellectual and physical disabilities to help get them back into the workplace in one way or another. So, Lighthouse started with 4, I'll say, plain community families within the New Holland area back in 1975. And there was about 100 volunteers that helped build out, I'll say, like a little barn house to get this thing started as to what Lighthouse was. And it started with about, I think, 12 individuals at first. And then it just kept evolving over time. We ended up moving into what was the old fire hall in New Holland. And then at our current facility, which has undergone so many different changes to the facility itself. We've been there since the year 2000. And that's really when we started getting into government funding. So we are a faith-based organization, and we are just out to help put individuals with intellectual and physical disabilities back into the workforce.
That's amazing. So it started out, you said 4 plain families came together and started it. Is the plain community still involved?
Yeah, we do still have participants of ours that are involved in the plain community, both Mennonite and Amish, that do come. A lot of our supporters, some of our board directors also come from that community too as well. And you have to think back to, Ben, in 1975, individuals in Lancaster County with disabilities weren't really getting the proper, I'll say, they weren't having their needs met in the way, and let alone in the plain community, something like this was unheard of. So it was very revolutionary for what it was coming out of New Holland at the time.
That's fantastic. So Chris had on the screen, you're the Director of Development and Marketing. What does that mean? What do you do there at Lighthouse Vocational Services?
Yeah, absolutely. So in layman's terms, I'm a relationship builder. I look to meet with people like yourself, with different businesses, with churches, with individuals that just want to know more about Lighthouse and learn more about Lighthouse and who we are. So there I handle a lot of our events, our fundraising, going out and networking, meeting new people, handle our marketing department. I have an employee underneath of me. Her name is Emily Bauman. She does amazing graphic design and work for the company.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, it takes a whole team. It's not just me, and I'm all about the 3 T's when it comes to this business, which is time, talent, and treasure. But I got to put an R in front of that, because relationship umbrellas all of that. And when you have the relationship, the other 3 come. And you notice how treasure's the last thing there. I'm more interested in people's time. I'm more interested in people's talents of, discovering what their talents are, just like we do with our individuals. We discover new talents in our participants every single day. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I just love talking to people and letting them know about Lighthouse.
I wish Jeff was here because he talks about time, talent, and treasure all the time when we're
Yeah.
talking to nonprofits, charitable organizations, whatnot. And we talk about volunteering, the time aspect, the talents. People can lend their talents to, programs like this, whether they're a bookkeeper or a graphic designer, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
There are ways that you can support local organizations with your talents. And then, of course, treasure the donation aspect there. We'll talk more about how the community can support your organization later in the show, but I wanted to kind of learn more about what happens at the facility there. So maybe you can talk about like the amount of people that the service helps and what types of things they can do there at your facility.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a diverse amount of programs that happen within Lighthouse, and to be honest with you, a lot of that happens outside of Lighthouse as well.
Right.
So there's in the facility, there's outside the facility. So I mentioned earlier, we probably started with maybe 12 individuals at first, or 12 to 25, I'll say, when it first started in 1975. We now uniquely serve almost 300 individuals
Wow.
in and
Okay.
outside of Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind that doesn't mean that the same individual isn't there every single day, which is
Right.
why I say uniquely, because it varies how it comes out too. But yeah, inside we have different programs. A lot of our programs are really the vocational skill building. So we have what I'll call a production kind of program where we actually go to businesses for them to bring. They'll outsource to Lighthouse. So
Mm.
things that they may not have time to do, or very high demanding projects, will be brought into Lighthouse. So I want to shout out one of our partners, Alert All. We've been with Alert All for almost 25 years.
Mm.
They are just an amazing facility. So they do what's called fire safety kits. And
Okay.
those go out to elementary schools. Those goes out to they go out to churches. They go out to just and they go out all over. I think the world. I mean, Mark would know better on that. The guy
Sure.
from Alert All, but basically they come in. We have a book. They come with pencils. They come with different things. There's actually a picture of
Okay.
of one of
Yeah.
them doing the packets, and they put these packets together. And this is their job. They're
Yep.
they're there to work. So they will fill the quota needs for these packets. And even right now, I had a conversation with Mark from Alert All the other day, who said, "Hey, we're selling these things like crazy." He's like, "Can you give me another however many?" And we're like, absolutely. Like, so we
That's
we
awesome.
bring things in like that. We also do other things like corner boards for furniture. So if you ever get furniture delivered to you, or if
Oh
you're
yeah.
shopping out, those little kind of like cardboard, corner
Yep.
boards that go in to protect the edges. Yeah, so we'll put those together for furniture companies. And it's unique too, because there's things that companies don't really know what they need. So there was this company that made hand sanitizer,
Hmm.
and there's an expiration on hand sanitizer, and they didn't know what they could do with it. So they were just throwing these empty bottles, or these full bottles of hand sanitizer
Oh
out.
wow.
Then they come to find out, if they put them in these drum barrels, they can actually sell them that way.
Okay.
The expired hand sanitizer.
Okay.
So we ended up getting a contract with that company, and we were emptying these bottles of hand sanitizer into
Nice.
these 50-gallon drums, and helping them sell those. So yeah, there's so many things that happen on the production line.
That's interesting. So how does a business find you? Like how would they know that a place like you exists to, outsource things like that?
Yeah, so for a lot of years, it was just word of mouth, but
Yeah.
luckily now, with the internet, we're able to market ourselves to let businesses know, like, hey, we can do stuff like this. And, we're always looking to bring new business partners on to do this work. You can always just go to our website. There is an email. It's info@lighthousevoc.org. You can just send an email there if you want to request, and we'll get you to the right person to hook you up.
Yeah. I see it on the screen there. What's the Without Walls virtual learning?
Yeah, so Without Walls is probably one of our most tremendous programs that we have out there. As you know, with the pandemic, a lot of things changed, and that
Hmm.
also happened to Lighthouse, and we were affected by that too. And we praise the Lord every day that we are still operating, because there was
Right.
108 facilities like ours in Pennsylvania that shut down, that no longer operate, that are
Oh,
identical.
oh,
Um,
that are completely gone now.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh
So
wow, that's a shame.
we looked at this and said, hey, we have to pivot. Just because the building itself is shut down doesn't mean that our participants don't need services. And
Right.
especially with other facilities shutting down, we needed to find a way to provide services to other people. So Without Walls was started basically to do that, to provide virtual learning services. And I mean, think of how much we do virtually now. I mean, us right now, we're doing this
The show.
podcast virtually. I'm working from home, today,
Yep.
virtually. I will always be the biggest proponent of remote work. I think that
Hmm.
it's a good life balance, and also a balance to help provide services to individuals like ours. So these are
Yep.
individuals, participants that are either still on a waiting list, that can't physically come into a building, that aren't physically able to come into the building, or quite frankly, just may not want to come into the building at all.
Right.
But with that, and we have a phenomenal um, group of employees that help run this, and I'll say softly, a curriculum that we are able to
Hmm.
provide to these participants. We have a girl at Lighthouse who, part of her shift is doing an online workout class with participants
Oh,
to keep
cool.
them active. Especially if you're home, you want to stay active, you want to be active. So we're providing things like uh, yoga, dance, small weightlifting type things that she
Yep.
does, and she does it all virtually. So it's pretty cool.
That is really cool. I know you also offer employment opportunities. Can you speak about that a little bit?
Yeah. So we have what's called employment services. So we
Yep.
work with uh, a government entity
Yep.
to get referrals to help people outside of our facility get placed in jobs. And that is our goal at Lighthouse. Whether you start out in our Strengthening Pathways program, whether you start in production, whether you're waiting on a waiver, whether you're out there on a referral, our job is to get people employed. So in 2023, we actually employed 28, or helped employ 28 individuals into the workforce,
That's
which is
fantastic.
which was a record for us. I just
Great.
got word at our annual banquet, I think, and I may mess this number up, and I'm sorry, Brian, if I mess this number up, if you're watching. I think we're at 29 now, or almost 30. So we actually have surpassed last year's number, and we're
That's
still going. So basically how that works is there's different phases, and we stick all the way through those phases. We don't leave until we are comfortable taking our hands off of the situation, until the participant is comfortable being in the workforce too as well. And I can just give you a quick story, a scenario. We placed someone in the workforce years ago, and 2 years later their manager actually called up. It might have been their manager or their caregiver. I can't remember the
mhm.
story fully, but uh, they just weren't performing in the job that we placed them in. Well, we come to find out after, so we decided to come in and talk to that individual, and see what was going on. And she had expressed to us that she felt that she uh, had surpassed what we placed her in first, and wanted to move up to the next step.
Mhm.
And now she's actually working in that next step in that company because of that. So we never leave, even though we take our hands off it at some point. But yeah, our
Yep.
goal is to employ as many people as we can.
That's awesome. And what type of businesses can you employ someone at?
Uh, Anything and everything. I
That's
mean,
great.
we have people that are working grocery stores. We have people that work in restaurants. 2 years ago, we had a gentleman who got employed by a woodworking shop, and he's
Oh,
a
that's
cabinet
cool.
maker. So I mean,
Nice.
it's crazy the way that yeah, it's crazy the way that God moves in certain people's lives and certain companies' lives. And even just with the companies themselves. One of our board members is the owner of Signature Custom Cabinets, and at
Okay.
first, before he was on our board, we came to him, and he was like, I love what you guys are doing, but I don't know how I'd be able to integrate you guys into this. It's dangerous. There's saws, there's sanders, there's
Yeah, yeah.
paint, and we said, give us a chance. Let us look around and see some things. And we noticed that the cabinet makers that are getting paid, you know, a good amount of money
Yep.
are taking their scraps, putting them in this giant barrel, have to take the time away from making the cabinet, pick up the barrel, roll it all the way down to the end of their facility there, dump it out. I mean, this is wasting 20 to 25 minutes because Signature is a huge place.
Right.
And we came in and said, well, we can do that for you. The cabinet maker doesn't have to leave this area. He can finish, or he or she can finish what they're doing here. And he said, okay. So that's how we got in there. And that evolved from emptying the wood scraps to helping empty the paint cans to we have people sanding things, running the cardboard compressor, the baler. I mean, there's no limit to what we are able to do within our limits. I'll say that.
Yeah, sure. So that's cool. So here's a business that wasn't sure how to bring one of your participants in, and asked for your help. You came in, looked around, and found some opportunities. That's really, really cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's a great feeling to know when you can show that our individuals are just like you and I, and they just want to work.
What are some of the other programs and services offered by Lighthouse?
Yeah, so we have another program called Strengthening Pathways. Strengthening Pathways, I will say, is for individuals that aren't really ready to work or aren't capable of working. And this can either come from the disability or from other factors into that.
Sure.
So we really help try to develop motor skills. We do Bible classes, we do history, we do it's more of like an enrichment. Every Wednesday there's something called Able Creations where they get to make these cool cards or food or carvings. There's all types of things. There's one of our participants who does amazing tinfoil sculptures in there. Cool. And we never would have found that out if he never would have went through this program. And I think that's the cool thing with Lighthouse is that every single one of our individuals choose to be there. It's their choice. They want to be with their friends. They want to be able to do things that they love to do. And it's just a great thing to see when we're able to take the scope back a little bit and kind of look at the bigger picture. And at the end of the day, who doesn't want to have fun at work?
That's right. So let's say someone has a child with a disability or something like that. So how would they find you? Is there a cost to be a participant in the program? How does that work?
So there are several different ways. Now, basically, we are a government-funded program, so you do have to be a part of a waiver list or a waiting list. I'll say that goes through. There's different sectors of government that handle that. However, we do work with schools for transition programs. The issue is, and the not issue, because it has gotten better. We're a couple years removed from what the pandemic was and what it caused. During that time, at one point, there was nearly 15,000 people in Pennsylvania alone on that waiting list, waiting for services. Right now at Lighthouse, we're kind of capped, but that's where we think outside the box. So we actually work in Chester County too, as well. But not through a facility. We have what's called hubs where we're allowed to provide services that way too as well. So again, I mean, the best way to do that is just email that info@lighthousevoc.org, get connected with the right person there. If you see me out and about, pull me off to the side and I'll be glad to help get you there.
Right. I also know you have something called the Student Transition Program. What's that all about? Yeah,
so Student Transition Program is basically where we do work with the schools. And
Oh,
we
okay.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of just being able to help coach the parents. And I think like because you have to think we serve adults with disabilities, and that's
Yeah.
18 and up. And when you're a parent with a student, some of the schools have programs where they can
Yeah.
go to, but it there's not a lot of information out there if you're a parent, and it can be kind of scary to know, well, what happens after,
What
and
happens after?
that's
Yeah.
where we want to start stepping in and help educating people and trying to help people make that transition. And we want to be, realistic with people. It's sometimes it can be hard, but we'll help to the fullest that we can.
So we often talk about the community, how the community can support organizations like Lifehouse or Light. I think I said Lifehouse, Lighthouse,
There's
and
life in the house, so
that's right, right, and vice versa. So, what is your involvement with the community? Like, how can the community support? How do you support the community? I mean, obviously, your services you offer to those who
yeah.
need the services, but can you talk about that community involvement?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, even from our roots, we were born out
Yeah,
of community. So community is really big to us, and it's something that's really big on my heart. I don't think that I don't think that human life works without community.
one hundred
So
percent. Yeah,
f- even from our financial backers to the people that have helped us with renovations to the people that help with
yeah,
discipleship and come in and just support the individuals, the parents, the employees. Um, we are very community driven, and one way that Lighthouse likes to give back is we have a program called the Shine Collective. Now, I don't want
okay,
to quote too much on it because I know what it is, but it has changed and evolved and adapted since it
okay.
was. But basically, it started with a couple of wonderful employees of ours that this was born kind of out of the pandemic that wanted to give
Okay.
back to the community. So what it is it's a lasagna meal, and it started before I was there. And I'm Italian, so whoever came with the idea, great choice of what to make.
It's one of
But
my favorite foods too, so I'm all ears.
there you go. So, oh yeah, happy belated birthday. Maybe you can get a
Oh,
lasagna meal. So,
thank you. So one of my gifts was a coupon for a banana cream pie from my daughter. So like
oh,
I'm
there you
like
go.
now she's like no no it's like there's no fine print. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. That's great. Yeah, so it's basically to give back in a manner of like when people a lot of employees, Lighthouse employees, like if you have a birthday or a work anniversary, it's
Mm,
you get a lasagna, but it's not just for the community. It's also enriching our participants too.
yeah.
So they cook it from start to finish. They get to make it, and I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I'm not 100% sure. I know we used to hand deliver it to a person in the community. I'm not sure if we do that
Okay.
anymore though. But community wise, this would be if someone had just lost a loved one in our
Right.
community, or maybe a new mother with a newborn,
Mm-hmm.
helping with a meal. It's
Like a
to kind
meal
of give
train.
back
Yeah.
in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a meal train. So yeah,
That's cool. That's really cool. And I saw on the list, the bullet point list there that Chris had on the screen. They're going to the grocery store, finding the items,
yeah.
making the lasagna in the kitchen, cooking it, and like you said, that maybe that last mile of delivery. That's really cool. So there's information on the screen there. Info at
There you go.
lighthousevoc.org, and of course attention. Whoop, throwing pens around. Attention Shine Collective, or of course you can call 717-354-0355. That's cool. I love that. I mean, I love lasagna, so I mean,
I was
who
gonna say
doesn't want
you're
who
just excited
doesn't
about
want
lasagna,
lasagna?
throwing pens everywhere.
That's right. I don't know what I'm doing here. So I want to talk about a couple things. You shared a story or two, but do you have? You don't have to name names or tell anything that you don't want to share there. But I'd like to hear if you have some stories, unique stories that you can tell of maybe some of the participants that have gone through the program and have either gone to gainful employment or have really excelled through the programs that you offer at Lighthouse. I'd love to hear a story or two.
Yeah, I mean, I can. the first one that comes to my mind is the cabinet maker that I told you
Yeah.
about, or that works at the cabinet place now. Because he initially kind of went through all of our programs,
Hmm.
and that's the thing, you don't really know the potential in someone
Right.
until you walk with that person, and you help them steward their life well too. And there's so many of our participants that walk through those doors that surprise us each and every day. um I mean, me personally, and I don't really get to spend a lot of time with our participants as much as I would like
Right.
to, but some of the ones I have is we throw out the first pitch at the Barnstormers games,
Oh, cool.
and just being able to do that. And I want to also shout out Fulton and Lidditz. They have a skybox at the Barnstormers stadium, and they actually let us host a Lighthouse night there, and that just meant the
Oh, cool.
world to some of these
Yeah.
participants that are baseball fans and love doing that, and being able to bring them up there. Um, we have an upcoming golf outing, and we got to shoot this golf video. And two of our participants, who are just absolute goofballs, I love those guys to death, are like the perfect ones to shoot this video. But just like their willingness to step out of their comfort zone and
Yep.
shoot a funny, promo video like that, attests to itself.
That's cool. So when is the golf event?
Golf outing is on October 8th and I don't mean to say anything about the beautiful golf course that you were at, but this is probably the best public golf course, because, well, it is the best public golf course because we're going to be golfing there. It's Overlook on
Overlook.
Lidditz
Yep.
Pike. Overlook Golf Course on Lidditz Pike. That's Marty right there. Yeah, that was just such a fun time. That's at Overlook. So yeah,
That's
it's our
awesome.
first ever golf outing. We're still looking for golfers. We're
Okay.
still, we're still taking whole sponsorships. It's about 2.5
great.
weeks away. Oh yeah, it's great. So we'd love to have you guys there and see you
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Where can we learn more? On the website, I'm guessing?
Yeah, go to the website or on Facebook. That'll take you to the right links to go to. Yeah, and I mean, even if you don't golf, if you just want to help support, you can sponsor a hole, you can sponsor,
Yep.
different sponsorship levels. And I mean, even if you don't golf, just come out and golf. It's gonna be a great day. And
That's awesome.
Big John Nolt's Catering will be our
Okay.
caterer. So if you ever heard of them or
Nice.
had any of their food, it is absolutely delicious.
I have not, but it sounds like somebody we need to have on the show.
It does.
So you have the golf event coming up. What other events might you have coming up? But you mentioned annual banquet. Was that was recently?
Yeah, so we just had our annual banquet on September 12th. We had former MLB outfielder Chris Heisey as our guest
Oh,
speaker.
that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his sister is actually in our program.
No way.
So that's
That's
how we
awesome.
got that connection there. I got to meet Chris, got to talk with him. Yeah, I mean, just what a phenomenal guy. He is.
Yeah.
Just so down to earth, so on fire for the Lord too as well.
I mean, he's a recent ball player. I mean, within the last 10 years.
Yeah, he retired in 2017, I believe.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, it was great. Phenomenal night. We got to just have a really good meal, good community. Got to promote a couple events, let people know what was going on through there, and yeah, it was a good time.
That's nice. So, do you do any other events throughout the year? Anything coming up?
Yeah, we do. Normally, our two big ones are we do have an annual auction, which is the second Saturday of June every year. So
Okay.
it's basically a big mud sale where we get a bunch of
Mm.
donations in and are able to auction them off. The community comes together, makes it a good time. We have we always have some sort of food there. This year we had pulled pork from
Mm.
Ank's Catering. We had there's a youth group that does homemade fries, so they
Nice.
came out
That's
and
cool.
did some fries. There's a candy drop. There's a gentleman that flies this cool plane over the top and drops the candy, and the kids go running for it. We have
Nice.
quilts, we have outdoor equipment. There's all types of stuff there.
And do you do this on property?
Yep, this is
Or
all on site. Now,
okay.
I say that with a asterisk next to it because next year we might not be able to do it on site, but
Okay. Yeah.
it'll be within the general vicinity of things.
Yep. And of course, information's on the website
Absolutely, yep.
as that gets closer. So, what are some other ways that the community can help Lighthouse? I know, obviously, any nonprofit charitable organization is loves donations.
Yeah.
Financial donations. Maybe there's other types of donations that you would take, and I know volunteering too is probably a big part of the support that you need at Lighthouse.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I obviously the financial portion of it, I will never say no to a donation, but
Right.
to know Lighthouse, I would say if you're looking to become a business partner or someone that financially supports Lighthouse, my words can only do so much. I would love to
Right.
invite you in for a tour of the
Hmm.
facility and be able to show you around so you can experience for yourself to definitely breathe the same air that we breathe every single day. But
Right.
as far as volunteers, we used to have a lot of volunteers, but since the pandemic has happened, that has seemed to
Yeah.
dwindle. Um, and not for the volunteers' sake, but also just because there's not really much that we have to volunteer for. So volunteers that we look
Okay.
for are definitely for the auction, definitely for events that we have that come up to. I can say the biggest way that the community can support is just word of mouth and telling people about who we are and
Hmm.
advocating because um, I don't know if this is common knowledge, but Governor Shapiro, for the first time in Pennsylvania's history, just gave all of our DSPs, which is direct support persons who work directly with um, our participants, a bump so they can get paid.
Mm,
And
that's great.
I want to shout out all the DSPs at Lighthouse for all the amazing work that they do. We
Hmm.
just had DSP Appreciation Week. I believe it was the week of the 14th of September.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, man, I mean they are the real heroes. I mean they're out there grinding every single day with these
Yep.
guys, and it's just yeah. So they do amazing work. Definitely want to shout all the DSPs out.
How many people are employed at Lighthouse?
Yeah, so as of right now, we have about 80.
Oh,
Which
wow.
yeah,
Okay.
it Lighthouse has really expanded a lot, and I mean, even I think in just 2021, we only had 45 employees, and
Wow. Wow.
to double in size from, and again, that goes with the without walls virtual
Hmm.
learning, that goes with the
Hmm.
work that we're doing outside of the facility too. So Lighthouse just looks to continue to make an impact everywhere we are.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. Um, we're kind of nearing the end of the time here.
Oh,
What might be next for Lighthouse? Maybe like the rest of the year or 2025 and beyond. Like, are there any
absolutely.
big goals?
Yeah, well, we started in 19 September of 1975.
Hmm.
So in the year 2025, Lighthouse will be celebrating 50 years of service in our
Oh,
community to
that's
those
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
intellectual and physical disabilities. So we have some pretty big surprises coming up. We have some pretty big events that are going to be coming up too. And I will announce this here because we did announce it at the banquet and we'll be putting it on our socials here soon. But our fall dinner is getting bigger and better than ever. So we won't be doing a banquet portion of it this year, this coming year, but we are going to be having our first ever Lighthouse Gala. So it's going to be
Oh, that's cool.
something new. And our motto for this year coming up is we are celebrating the past, embracing the future, and continuing to shine the light of hope and opportunity for those with intellectual and physical disabilities.
That's fantastic. Well, I wish you lots of success with that event. Keep us in or keep in touch with us. Let us know the details. We can share it here on the show as it gets closer to that time next year.
Absolutely.
50 years. That's amazing.
It's a
Really
milestone.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be where we are, we're so blessed and so grateful. And like I said, the facilities that shut down
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
were similar to ours, I mean, identical to ours, for us to still be here is nothing short of the grace of God. And we
Yep.
just, we just praise Jesus every day for what he's done with us and through us.
That's awesome. Is there anything that you would like to share about Lighthouse that we haven't talked about or haven't covered?
Um, Again, my words can only do so much. Check out the
Yeah.
videos that we
Yeah.
have on our Facebook. Check out some of the content that we put up there. Again, if you are a business and wanting to partner with us, please feel free to contact me, Mike Vergara at lighthousevoc.org. I would love to bring you in for a tour or just talk to you more about how you could help or
That's awesome.
connect. Yeah.
Yep. I wanted to ask it earlier, and it just skipped my mind. Are you associated or have connections to, I guess is the way I should say it, with other organizations that are maybe work with the same people with intellectual or physical disabilities? Do you have relationships there that you can work together with other organizations?
So, yes, to the most part,
Yeah.
in our line of work, I don't believe in competition, because
Right.
we're all out to help these
Yep.
individuals. Um, do we work specifically with other organizations? Yes and no, because you kind of always cross the hairs, because there are some of our individuals that live in residential programs and
Hmm.
facilities
Gotcha.
that come to our for the day program.
Oh, I understand.
So there's always that mixing of, you always end up working with someone in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just interesting when we have these conversations with people, we don't really know how organizations are connected. But often when we have conversations, we realize how connected a lot of Lancaster organizations are. So I was just wondering
Absolutely.
what the situation there was. That's great. So the information we've had on the screen here, website is lighthousevoc.org. Of course, the Facebook page, give them a like on Facebook, follow them on Instagram. I know there's a new YouTube channel coming.
Yeah.
We've got the golf event coming up. If you'd like to participate in that, either as a business sponsoring a hole or being a golfer and swinging the sticks, you can learn more on the events tab on the website. Michael, this has been great. Thank you for sharing about Lighthouse Vocational Services and all the great things you're doing for
Absolutely.
those with intellectual and physical disabilities.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I truly
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yep. I'm not done with you yet, Mike.
Yeah,
If you're ready for the connection cocktail, we'll get to
I
know
heard.
you a little bit
I
better.
heard. Yeah.
There's a drink on the screen. There are no drinks besides coffee. That's all we're gonna do in these four walls. But all right, so get to know you a little bit better. So, favorite sport or sports team?
Ooh, favorite sport or sports team?
Could be both. You can whatever.
Yeah, it's tough. My favorite sport will probably always be basketball, which would be the
Okay.
Sixers. My favorite sports
Yes,
team
go
is definitely
Sixers.
the Eagles. Uh,
All
how,
right.
I'm. It's a hard question because I'm a fan of all sport. I'm a sports guy, but
All right.
Eagles definitely. So sorry,
All
Jeff,
right.
you couldn't be here, so we could.
Well, yep. Well, he's maybe he's tuning in from home, or maybe he's resting. I don't know, but I know the Birds had. I didn't watch the game, but I know from texts and seeing what people were talking about during the game that it was a
Yeah,
little bit of a rough game. They pulled it
yeah.
out in the end.
They definitely put me on an
Um,
emotional roller coaster every
I,
single week. So
I was going to say, it's not just last game; it is every single week. I saw numerous instances of just take the 3 points, right?
yeah, yeah, I was screaming that at my television while my wife was
Uh-huh.
like, "Why are you watching this right now?" So
Yeah, yeah, and that was 2 weeks in a row, right? So
yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
I don't know, and yeah, go Sixers. I mean,
Mhm.
that's my team. I'm hoping this is the year. We'll see.
We'll
They've
see.
got they've got a great team in place, but of
Paul
course they've had
George,
great.
I still believe in him. So
It comes down to health. Embiid
yeah,
and George, those two guys in place with Maxi, and really there's a great supporting staff around them, or supporting cast around them. I think they're on to great things there. All right, moving on.
Mm.
Favorite favorite Lancaster County restaurant.
Oh, Funk's Leola.
Oh, okay. All right. Is
Mhm.
there a reason?
I
Indoor, outdoor patio.
I lived in Leola for 7 years, and
Okay.
I just went there all the time, and just
Yep.
great,
Yep.
great atmosphere, great food.
Gotcha. Any favorite food there?
Um, see, they switch it up. I love their seafood tacos. They
Oh,
have a
okay.
great uh, what's it called? It's a salmon, but it's like a wood roasted
Gotcha.
something salmon thing. Yeah, that.
Yeah. It's a great place. I like the fact that you can like hang out outside. They've got the
Yeah,
heaters, out there in the cool seasons, and
yeah. They
yeah,
did those
it's a nice place.
igloo things.
Oh, okay.
during the pandemic, and then for winter they keep them around. We actually that's where my wife and I had our wedding reception at, was the
Oh, very
outside
cool.
far
All right.
portion
So
there. So, yeah.
yeah, so it has sentimental value.
It does, yes. Yeah.
That's all right. All right, great. Last question. Are you a Lancaster County guy? Did you grow up in Lancaster County or?
Yeah, I've been here pretty much my most
Okay.
I was born in Coatesville and then have been in Lancaster since I was probably 5, 6.
Okay. So this might, Coatesville, kind of little towards Philadelphia. You got Lancaster. Okay. So Turkey Hill, Sheets, Wawa,
Yeah.
or Rudders. Which are you going with?
All right. See, this is always the debate. All right. And it has changed for me, right?
This question is the most serious question
It
we have.
is.
It's
Yeah.
like the hardest one to answer.
And I hope that no one threatens me after I answer.
Okay. All right. Hey.
Growing up in my teens, it was definitely Wawa, but now it has become Sheets.
It has.
I love
Okay.
Sheets coffee, and I love their menu. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's hard to beat a schmuffin, right?
It is. Those schmuffins are good.
That's right. Yeah, we all like different things for different reasons, right? And you can go to maybe one of these convenience stores for one aspect and go to the next for the next aspect.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Well, thanks for playing along. I know you have your own podcast. If you wanted to give that a shout, please do. Tell us what that is.
Yeah, sure. So I host a podcast called Talk to Me with Mike V. So if you search that on YouTube, I'm also on Apple, Spotify,
Yep.
all the pretty much major streaming services. Has been a while since I did that. I am actually, fun fact, I'm a part-time radio DJ for FM 90.3 WJTL. So I'll give them a shout out too while I'm here, because they also support Lighthouse as well. So if you liked hearing my voice on this podcast here with Ben, you can hear it elsewhere.
That's awesome. Now, do you have a radio name or you use your name?
I just go by Mike V. And they told me that too. They said, you need a radio name. And there was already a mic behind the mic there. And I was just like, I'm just Mike V. Here we are.
Keep it simple. All right. Michael, this has been great. There it is. Chris has got it up there.
Thank you, sir.
Give it a follow. Talk to Me with Mike V. Very, very cool. Michael, thanks for being on and sharing about Lighthouse Vocational Services and all the wonderful things you do for those with intellectual and physical disabilities. It's a fantastic program. Loved hearing about the history and about what you do there and what you've got coming in the future. Thanks so much for being on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ben, for having me.
Have a great afternoon.
You as well.
Yep, thanks. All right. Great show. Love having nonprofit and charitable organizations on the show. I didn't know anything about Lighthouse Vocational Services before we booked them as a guest. And, did some research on them leading up to the show, preparing the questions and then the conversation here. Love learning about these unique programs in Lancaster that really start from an idea, start from scratch. And, it's about to celebrate 50 years, survived a pandemic, as a lot of businesses and organizations had to do. But as, Mike said, a lot of organizations didn't make it. So it speaks to the heart and the passion that they have for their participants and the energy and effort that they put into the programs that they offer there. Really, really cool to hear that story and hear what they do there. So Lighthouse Vocational Services, give them, like I said, a like and a follow or whatever on Instagram. I don't know what you do on Instagram. Visit them at lighthousevoc.org. Golf tournament coming up, future gala in 2025. So a lot of cool things they've got going on in the future. We're going to wrap up the show here. Just a quick sleep better tip. Not only was it my birthday last week, it was also my 19th wedding anniversary. Almost got the big one at 20 coming up, but my wife and I celebrated in the city of Philadelphia. Went to a concert Saturday night, stayed overnight downtown. It was pretty cool, but I forgot my pillow. And that is the sleep better tip. Don't forget your pillow. The opposite of not bringing your pillow. Take your pillow with you if you can. it couldn't have been easier for me to take a pillow. All I had to do was throw it in my vehicle, and take it with me down to Philadelphia. It wasn't packing a suitcase and flying or anything like that. So it wasn't a space issue. I just forgot my pillow. And, the pillows in the hotel weren't awful. They weren't terrible, but they weren't my pillow. They weren't the ones that I like and that fits me, and keeps my head and neck in proper spinal alignment. So that is a sleep better tip. Don't forget your pillow. If you like that tip and want more tips on how to sleep better, get our book here, Sleep Better, authored by Jeff Giannakovo, here at Gardner's Mattress and More. All kinds of ways that you can improve or impact your sleep for the better, just by changing or doing a few things, even unrelated to a mattress. Lots of great helpful tips and information in this book. We'll mail you a free copy. Go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. I almost forgot our own website. There it is. Thank you, Chris. Request a free copy on the website. You can also walk in the store and pick up one of these for yourself. It's free. So why not get some helpful tips on how to sleep better? All right. Last thing for the show, maybe second to last thing. We've got handwritten testimonial time here. This is Rick and Darcy. This is a testimonial for our business, Gardner's Mattress and More. We always ask how our salesperson helps guide our customers to the best mattress that fits their needs. So in this case, Drew listened to what I had to say and immediately directed my wife and I to the best mattress for us. No pressure whatsoever. And they said, not his first rodeo for sure. That is true. Drew has been here for 9 years and coming up on his 10-year anniversary here. And another question we ask about, assessing the sleep needs and directing to the right mattress, it said was spot on. Listen, then suggest, he said, let the customer do the rest. And then he said, we're not allowed to use that slogan because he has a copyright on it. So, but I like that. Listen, then suggest, let the customer do the rest. And, that's really what we try to do here. We do have a process we go through to assess sleep needs, to learn what it is that keeps our customers up at night. And it's our responsibility to help match our products to the customer's sleep needs. So we ask the questions, we gather feedback, and then it's our job to guide and kind of like you said, let the customer do the rest. It's, a lot of times customers ask us what's mattress is best. What do you sleep on? Well, it doesn't matter. It's not my preference. It's not my body sleeping on the mattress. It's not my sleep needs that need to be handled or addressed. It's the customer. So let the customer do the rest really means lay down, put your feet up on the bed, test the mattress with pillows that we can help you find the right pillow and kind of match the pillow to your sleep needs. But it's really our responsibility to kind of almost step back. Once we make some recommendations, step back and let the customer lay down and spend sufficient amount of time to make the right decision. That's what we do here. Thank you, Rick and Darcy, for your testimonial and mailing this back to us and your kind words about Drew and our process here to help you find the right mattress. So last order of business, we have some mattresses, actually a handful of mattresses in our trailers out back that are distressed in some way. They potentially were old floor models. They could be comfort exchanges that we've removed from somebody's home and we have a license to resell them. They could be merchandise that were damaged in shipping, either, trucked to us or us trying to get it into somebody's home. Any number of things can happen to have distressed merchandise. Well, we have a number of mattresses, mostly in king size, or what we call split head or flex head king, also referred to as our less snore, more cuddle mattresses, where the top of the mattress has a little slit in the top and you can put it on adjustable beds and adjust the beds, or adjust each side of the mattress separately. But the reason I bring that up is we got a lot of this merchandise, especially in king size, that we're blowing out at like below cost, like way below cost. Actually, like when I look at what we're selling these for, I'm like, it almost hurts. But we've got to get rid of this merchandise. We need our trailer space back. These king mattresses, some of these are $3,000, $4,000, and $5,000 mattresses. Any one of them is only $988 right now. We have samples on the showroom you can try. And again, we've got backups in the trailer. Again, it's not every single mattress in the showroom. It's not anything like that. But we have a board that shows what we have available. And our crew can help guide you to those that are available. So King, $988. If we have any queens left, we might not. But if we have any queens left, they're only $488. Also twin longs, if you need half of a king, those are $488. And the flex head kings, we have a handful of those available. Again, those are the ones you can use on adjustable beds and have each side operate separately. Those are $1,288. And again, these are mattresses that are normally $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, and your choice, $988, $1,288 for flex head king. So we're calling it our truckload event. We've just got to clear space, and our loss is your gain. Great night's sleep at a incredible price. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you for watching Lancaster Connects. Lancaster, we'll be back next Monday at 2 o'clock. Probably have more football to talk about. We'll have another great guest. In fact, I think it's a veteran-owned business, which is really, really cool. I've been wanting to talk to this gentleman for a long time, so I'm really excited to have him on the show. Who is it? I don't know. You'll have to find out. Tune in next week. Lancaster Connects Facebook page, YouTube page, also Gardner's Mattress and More Facebook page and YouTube pages. You can watch past episodes at lancasterconnects.com. Click on the episodes tab, and love to have you tune in next Monday at 2 o'clock. All right. I think that's the show. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great afternoon, Lancaster.